When Ashley's little 3-year-old daughter came up to her and said, "Mommy, there are monsters in my bedroom," Ashley's like, "We just saw Monsters, Inc."
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, there's not monsters in there. No, Mommy, there's monsters in my bedroom. Ashley goes in there to prove it wrong, and then all of a sudden, Ashley's like, "Oh, no." She hears it behind the wall.
Yeah.
And it was like a really loud buzzing sound. And it wasn't just like a buzz, it was like lots of them, tens of thousands of them. Turns out behind the wall in her daughter's bedroom were tens of thousands of honeybees.
Yeah, and they couldn't really do that much about it. Like, they couldn't call an exterminator because honeybees are endangered. Like, you just can't go in with, as I would do, like the Lysol can and just
get raid and spray.
No, you can't do that.
Because they are endangered.
Yeah.
So you have to remove them somehow.
Right. They have to be relocated, rehomed, whatever the case is. But, like, there were 50,000 inside the walls.
That's crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
And whoever counted all of them to get the count accurate.
1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a minute.
Right?
Hold on. Stay still.
That is just something else. Scott.
I'm just buzzing over this story. It's amazing.
Oh, come on.
We were expecting our third child. We're looking for a home that fits 3 kids into. Found out after we bought the place that the garage gets filled with bees every year. It was always expensive to come find them and remove them. Well, one year we finally found somebody that was just a local beekeeper that said, yeah, he'd come do it, and he only charged us like $200. There were, I think we found 6 queens, and we're talking like hundreds of thousands of bees.
That is crazy. You know, at our old house, we had a squirrel that decided it was going to make a hole near the roof, like at the soffit and fascia, and get into our attic and lived there for a while. Had to get traps and everything. A friend of mine even got the right animal trapper to catch this thing, but it took a while.
Was it like a little cage that it went into?
Yeah, it went into a little cage.
Good. But they can destroy
Yeah.
your home. I mean, squirrels, they're so cute and they're so sweet, and I break really hard when they run out in front of me. But
this thing was mean.
they'll
in that cage, it was mean because I went up there and brought the cage down.
They can be vicious.
Yeah.
So,
it was like, you're in my home. Get out of here.
you want me to climb up in yours?
Yeah, and then this animal trapper was able to cover up the hole and all that other stuff and make it look really nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
A friend
Did
of
he
mine
fix
found him and sent him out there so he could get that squirrel out of the house because you could hear climbing through the walls and everything.
Oh, he was setting up his living room.
So Scott saw this yesterday. Well, I don't know if he was watching the game or not, but the bees that were at the baseball game, it was the Dodgers, right?
Dodgers, yeah, in Los Angeles. They were playing the Diamondbacks, and about 15 minutes before the start of the game, this huge swarm of bees started to populate on top of the net behind home plate. And so they stopped they couldn't start the game, so they had to call a beekeeper in. He climbed the net, gets up there and sprays them, and the game was delayed for a couple of hours before they were able to start it up.
That much of a delay because of bees. Amazing.
So honeybees, is that what they were, or do you know?
Yeah, just a big swarm of them.
Now, can you spray them with smoke? Is that how because it makes them dormant?
Well, I have no idea.
I
think that's what he did. He
Okay.
was squirting and spraying something that looked like the smoke that they kind of make them chill.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it does. They're like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm just going to go to sleep.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
When it's time to celebrate something in your family, it's like, hey, let's go out, let's celebrate. What is your go-to restaurant that you celebrate at? Like for Scott, I love his. Where do you go, Scott?
Well, when I was a kid, it was McDonald's. That was the go-to. But for me now, it's like just a steakhouse, just a nice steakhouse.
Okay, which one?
I like the what is it called? The Kanki.
I have no idea.
Kanki Kanpai Tokyo. Some kind of like Japanese steakhouse if we're really celebrating.
Oh, the canned peas.
Yeah,
There's a
canned
K
peas,
involved.
sure. That's ours. That's our go-to.
You
Or
go
it
to-
used to be. I will say that.
You
It
go to
used
canned
be.
peas.
Yeah, no, canned pie. But it was
Oh.
every time there was a graduation, a birthday party, whatever, we're going to canned pie, make the reservation. Yeah,
Huh.
that was it.
But
the
anywhere
McDonald's,
that's got a good steak, I like Longhorn, the Texas Roadhouse, stuff like that, too.
Oh, hey.
Some kind of meat.
Wait till you hear where Ninja goes for the celebration.
Yeah.
We would go to Golden Corral.
Yeah. You get all you can eat.
Do they still have that chocolate fountain?
Oh, I don't know, but
It-
those rolls.
Oh, it's just all about the rolls.
All about the rolls.
Okay, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. I think where my husband works, they go to Golden Corral a lot when they celebrate
Do they really?
anniversaries, like work anniversaries and stuff like that. But that McDonald's, going back to Scott's McDonald's, they used to have the birthday parties. I don't know if they
Oh,
still do
yeah.
it with the
Yeah, they
cake
do.
in the little
Yes.
tin foil little thing, the aluminum kind of
Of
pan.
course. Why would they forsake the
I don't
birthday
know.
party at those places?
That's one of the best cakes. One of the best cakes.
And then, Jake, where is it you go?
Gaddy Town.
Gaddy Town.
Gaddy
That's like a Chuck E. Cheese, right?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like they had more like spaghetti and more options than
At Gaddy
just,
Town?
Yeah, than just. And it's been a hot minute since I've been to Gaddy Town, but I remember going a lot when I was a kid.
Last time you were there, Jake.
Ooh, probably,
Last weekend with a pocket full of coins.
yeah.
Okay, here's an open mic that came in through the My HISRadio
So
app.
growing up, one of the restaurants my family and I used to go to all the time when I was a kid was called Old Country Buffet. It was up in Henrietta, New York, and my family and I, we always enjoyed the food, and it was something we can all agree on because my brother and I were such picky eaters. Now my husband and I, we just go to Outback Steakhouse whenever we want to celebrate. They always have good food and good comfort, and the service is always wonderful. Thanks, you guys. Love you.
Always get the same thing there, which is the salmon.
Oh, at Outback.
Always, because my wife will not cook fish at home.
Oh, because it stinks up the house.
Exactly.
Use a little lemon. Takes care of
Exactly.
that. I will either get the salmon or the Flo's filet. The little filet mignon.
I didn't know.
We don't go often.
I always get the salmon. I don't know anything else on the menu except for
don't?
salmon. Yeah.
my goodness.
Except for the bloomin' onion.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
So Barry, he got his tax refund from the feds, and from the federal government, it was $900. He was happy with that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, where he lives, the state of Pennsylvania, he owed taxes. And here's what the bill was: $34 billion. $576,826,561.47. Yes, $34 billion this dude owes Pennsylvania in taxes.
Yeah, he did get a credit of like $4,000.
Which was, that helps.
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
Don't forget that 47 cents at the end of it. though.
Right, please.
He said, look, guys, I only make $100,000 a year, which is nothing to sneeze at, but I don't know $34 billion.
$bucks. So his tax preparer took a look, and there was some glitch, he said, in 2022. And so because of that glitch, there's another glitch somewhere in somebody else's computer, and it turns out he owes $34 billion, and it's not settled yet.
No, because they've got to, find out who put in the wrong numbers, where did the glitch happen. But you honestly should be able to look at it, because I hope, because, maybe he's late in paying the $34 billion, that there's no interest that's added.
Could you imagine the interest?
Can you imagine the interest? I don't know what the IRS charges for interest.
I don't even think Bezos owns that kind of taxes. $34 billion, maybe he does. I don't know.
I can't imagine.
But that's, wow.
Like, can you imagine just you're going to the mailbox, I got my $900 refund, and then you get the next bill.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
All right, so over the next week or so, I go through the pantry and find all the extra. I have so many extra boxes of noodles and extra.
Why?
I just do. When I see them on sale, like if it's buy one, get one free, I'm not leaving there with one. I'm going to get like 4.
Are you like the person at Sam's that just takes them all?
I don't take them all, but I will. If it's a good deal, I will stock
He'll
up.
take 80% of it.
Well, I'll
Leave the
a
rest
little
for
bit-
you.
A little bit behind. But next Saturday is Stamp Out Hunger. And this has happened every year. I think it's been since like the early 90s or
Stamp
something.
Out Hunger. Is that the mailbox thing?
Yes. So you will get your non-perishables. Don't leave like frozens or meats or anything like that, but non-perishables, rice and noodles and canned goods, pancake mix, that kind of thing. Put it in bags and then leave it beside your mailbox, and the letter carriers will pick them up.
They've been
that
doing
day.
this for a minute.
Yeah, since the early 90s, I think it was.
Yeah,
So-
that's right.
and I think they say it's one of the, if not the biggest, food drives all year.
Well, it's so easy. You just bring it to your mailbox, and it's right there. So it's
Literally.
the easiest one because you don't have to go anywhere.
Right. And I always wonder, though, because like my mail carrier either uses her own Jeep or there's a car. So there's not an actual like mail truck that you're used to seeing. So how are they going to get all of that in there?
I thought they just, when they drop off the mail, they take it. I didn't know that
Yes.
they made an extra.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when they drop off the mail, how is she then, because she's got all the mail, how is she then going to put
You
all
just
the
throw
bags
it in the back.
in there? Well, hopefully. But, hopefully maybe they send extra trucks because I hope there's that much.
Well,
that's
Scott
left
does
by.
this every year. I
Oh,
mean,
good.
he's a fan of it.
We always have cans of something in our pantry that just show up and collect. And I'm like Liz, I think I buy things that are on sale and that we just never go through it. But we have one of those neighborhoods where we don't have the mailboxes in front of our house, but it's in one of those communal mailbox centers. I don't know what you call them.
Wow.
But
He
this
lives
time
in
of
a-
year, you'll see the bags. They'll start showing up. And from people in the neighborhood. A lot of people do that where we'll drop food off there at the mailbox center.
Scott
that's
lives in
so-
a fancy neighborhood.
he's
Have the
fancy.
communal mailboxes.
It's not fancy.
It's
No.
not in
Got
front
the-
of my
you-
home. I can't have that.
You got the key. You open up your own little mailbox.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
First time you heard your voice back, what did you think? It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. Come to find out, a lot of people don't like the sound of their own voice.
Well, it sounds completely different. I don't know that I don't like the sound of my own voice. I don't want to hear myself
Oh,
talk.
here's the thing. If there's something, a recording with Liz's voice on it, she tells me, turn that down.
Yeah.
She literally says, turn that down. I feel Scott, I don't think Scott loves his voice, but I don't think you're offended by your voice.
I'm not offended by my voice at all. I just don't like hearing it. I'm like Liz.
Why?
It just makes me uncomfortable. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I get that.
I don't like it.
Ninja, you said you were what? You're embarrassed about your voice?
When I was younger, I was embarrassed by my voice hearing back the recording because my voice is very nasally. But then at one point I was like, my voice is really unique. I could make money off of that one day.
Well, there we
Oh,
go.
Hey, and here you are.
Yeah. Mine isn't the sound of my voice necessarily. I'm
What is
always
it?
afraid, especially, in a recording, that I'm going to say something incorrect. And then I'm like, oh, and I'm so hypercritical of myself anyway that
She kind of is.
so that's where mine comes from. But my voice to me is almost like Demi Moore. Like down
What?
here. But it's not.
No.
Like when I hear it back, it's a
Demi
lot
Moore.
higher. Well, because you hear yourself from the inside, so you're feeling the resonance as well as hearing it.
Yeah, it sounds different in your inner ear than it
Right.
does when you hear it like through a speaker or something like that, as
Exactly.
other people actually hear you.
Yeah. So you're a
That's-
little higher, I think, than you might hear
I am?
yourself. I don't know. I don't hear you from the inside. So
No, I don't. I
can't
do.
hear
and
through
it
your
sounds
ears.
the same to me. But here's the thing. This has been a dream of mine. It's not going to happen. I know it, especially this late in the age of where I am now in life. But ever since I went to my first Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, and this was decades ago, and I heard the guy speak, and I was just a kid, and I'm like, I so want to do that. I've always wanted to be the in-house PA announcer for an NFL team.
that would be super cool.
Really?
Even just to get to do it one time.
Yeah.
Hey, Carolina Panthers, call a guy
Well,
up.
I was thinking that. I thought, it's not too far of a drive from where I live, and
no.
just get to the stadium and do a weekend gig or whatever, all the home games. But I looked one day. I looked on their website to see how would you even know that there's a job opening for that? Mm-hmm. And I don't even know what it's called, except PA announcer.
Yeah, and would they put that like?
Would that even be? When do you know that there's auditions for something like that? I don't know.
Maybe they go through like an actor studio or something, like an agent.
Actor studio.
Could be, because there's a bit of acting with that. You have to keep your energy, but it's like this to a certain degree. You've got to keep your energy up, and I mean, you can't go, here come the Carolina Panthers.
The Braves had open auditions a couple of seasons ago.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
how did you even know that?
Oh, they had
because
it like,
that's something I've always wanted to do too.
Yeah, well, don't.
But
take the baseball, okay? Just take the
I'll
baseball.
take the baseball. Yeah, you take the other. But I remember as a kid, they had a guy at Fulton County Stadium, the old stadium. His name was Marshall Mann. And when I was a kid going to Braves games, he had this voice, right fielder Dale Murphy, and it just resonated through that stadium.
Yeah.
Ever since, I thought, how cool would it be to be a voice announcer at a stadium like that? So,
well,
I think it'd be neat.
I think the Braves announced it like during the games.
That they're
you could,
looking for somebody,
that you
really?
could
Yeah.
do open
Yeah.
auditions.
Well, I haven't been to one Panthers game, so if they did that there, I wouldn't know.
Well, if they do, somebody
We got to
let
get
us know.
Rob on the PA. We have
Exactly.
got to do this.
Ed, listen, that's never going to happen. I mean, let's have
I don't know.
reality check here. The guy who's there now is going to be there forever.
Never say never.
He's
But
going to
he
be
might need
there.
a day off. He's tired.
And some of these guys were doing it remotely during COVID.
That is-
Some of them. Yeah.
That's
They had
weird.
it rigged up. So you never know.
You never know.
You could do it from there.
You mean my house?
Anywhere.
Anywhere, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, I was listening. I'd listen every day on my morning walk, and I was listening to the discussion about voices. I do medical massage down here, and in my training, I've learned the two different types of hearing. One is called bone conduction. That's how you hear the bones inside your inner ear.
Okay.
And the other is called air conduction, and that's where it comes through eardrum. And that's why it sounds different, because the bone conduction is direct. The air conduction going through the eardrum, not direct.
I would imagine cochlear implants does the bone induction then.
Absolutely. they do.
Okay. I was wondering how that actually worked, and you just opened up a whole thought for me that I didn't even think of before.
Yes, sir, buddy.
Are you taking a walk this morning?
I'm still walking right now. As a matter of fact, I'm 2 blocks from home, and I listen to you every morning. I love your show. And I just donated $100 to Friendraiser last week.
Oh, thank you.
That means so much, Scott. God, we're very, very grateful. And I love that we get to walk with you.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
There are physicians in Australia, and they're asking and requesting, and they're being, very serious about this. And they say this, and maybe this will, translate over here in the U.S., to please stop bringing snakes to the hospital. Whatever you do, just don't bring your snake to the hospital. Please.
And it's not really like they're bringing pet snakes or anything. It's people that get bitten, and they want to bring them in to show what kind of snake so they can get the correct antivenom. So
I never would have thought of that.
I wouldn't have either.
I just got bit by a rattlesnake. Let me tie off the thing like they showed me when I was in Boy Scouts.
Yes, the tourniquet.
Catch the snake and bring it to the hospital and say, this is what bit me. This thing right here.
I'm thinking maybe use your phone and take a picture.
That would be a good idea. The thought is this for the physicians, and I totally get it. It's like, please don't bring them because they could get loose. It's scaring our staff. If it bites somebody else and then infections and all this other stuff, they just said, just don't stop. Just don't bring them.
Yeah, and they said they can run some sort of test that tells them what kind of snake.
That makes sense.
So hopefully, but I know a woman that was bitten by, I think, a copperhead in her yard while she was gardening, and they really didn't know. They didn't know if it was a copperhead or a rattlesnake, and she freaked out. She didn't have a really good description of it, and so I think they treated it as one thing first, and it wasn't working. So I don't know. Take a picture.
If you think about it, I
have
mean,
somebody else try.
that's so quick in the moment.
I know.
First thing I want to do is get something to tie it off, right above where the bite was.
I don't think I'd be that smart in the moment. I think I would just curl up in a ball and cry and whine and scream and
No, I really think Liz wouldn't do that.
You think wrong, my friend.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Nope, I don't think this should happen. I just don't. Nope. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio.
18-wheelers, semi-trucks that drive themselves in Texas,
Nope.
it looks like. Right? That does sound all forms of scary. Why even go on the road? Because they have, it looks like there's a fleet of them. I don't know how many, but they're 80,000 pounds of some of the cargo load that they have that'll be driving autonomously with a human being as a safety driver on the inside. So at least there's that. But the goal is to have thousands of these trucks on the road in 3 to 4 years, according to this one company.
Well, why? If you've got a safety driver, then why have the truck?
At least there's that. But they say they've been testing these things. Oh, they've been testing these things for 3 to 4 years, and they've only had a few crashes. They said only a few.
But when an
crashes.
18-wheeler crashes, I mean, that's...
Yeah, that's...
80,000 pounds?
Mhm.
Come on. But if you've got the safety driver, just let them drive.
Right?
You know? So it's putting
At
people
least
out of
there's
work.
at least there's that.
At least.
At least there's that. And the thing's not going without a driver in it.
Well, okay, here's my plan. You've got your safety driver. Just have him or her shift a little bit to the left and get behind that big wheel and just drive it.
Right?
Okay, let's just do that.
Put the foot on the gas and the hands on the wheel.
Thank you, and the other foot on the brake.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
How much you willing to spend? It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. I don't know if you're really looking for one, but I might have found one for you.
Okay.
Okay, so it's kind of a legendary bed set. It goes back to 172 years, so there's legacy that's behind this. So picture your mattress filled with materials like luxurious horsetail hair, cotton, which enhances the comfort and luxury of your bed.
Horsehair?
Brass for all the adornments, polished wood, suede, leather, all the highest quality.
This is a bougie bed.
Yeah, I mean, it only will set you back $1 million. I mean, hey, if you got to have a bed.
I mean, a good night's sleep is priceless, But $1 million for a bed. I don't understand. I just don't understand the artist that goes into this and says, okay, I'm going to design this bed and then it's going to sell. How many are you going to sell? One? Who could afford it? One person, maybe?
What's the markup on it?
You right?
If you're going to make any kind of a profit, what kind of markup is on that bed? It can't be $10.
But I got to break this down. How comfortable is horsetail hair?
I don't know. Scott knows how comfortable horsetail hair really is.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's sort of soft and luxurious.
All of a sudden, Scott's doing dad jokes.
Right. Right.
It's one of those
early
days.
for
Where'd
that,
this
buddy.
come from? This came out of nowhere today.
Just the coffee. There's something in the coffee this morning. I'll try and stop.
It's decaf. That's what it is. It's decaf.
That's got to be it. There's no
I don't
punch
know.
in your coffee now, dude. We got to do
Maybe I
something
need more
about that.
punch.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
It was so cool to hear from Scott earlier today, and he was saying that he loves listening while he walks every single morning, and that he gave a $100 gift during Friendraiser, which we were so grateful to hear because Friendraiser was last week. And we just wanted to say thank you. Since we heard from Scott, it was like, oh, that's a reminder to say thank you for everything that you did during Friendraiser, to pray for his radio, to support his radio. We wrapped up at 91% on Friday night. And then by Monday afternoon, we were at 94%, even though Friendraiser was done on Friday. And it was so cool because people were like, well, we want to help you get closer to 100%. And so they did. And we just wanted to say thank you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little gap there, but you are doing, just incredible things, sharing Jesus through this station because God really does use the songs. And you can think about it in your own life. When you hear a song and it just touches you and you're like, man, I needed that today. I needed to hear that message that God loves me no matter what. And so God uses the songs and the messages to meet you exactly where you are, and you have provided that for somebody else.
When somebody told me that one day, that God meets you where you are, it just blew my mind. I'm like, really? He loves me that much. He'll meet me where I am. And then Jesus, who died on the cross for me, just a miserable sinner. Wow. So thank you for helping to get the hope of Jesus out. You were amazing. And we just wanted to take a moment to say thanks.